Hey guys, welcome to my channel and I'm back again with another really interesting coding interview question video. Today guys, we are going to solve question number 744. Find the smallest letter greater than target. And as you can see on my screen, I have got Leetcode Premium. So I'm gonna also show you which companies this question has been asked. So without taking any time further, let's get started. First, let's look into the companies that this question has been asked, and you can see that in the last 3 months, this has been asked in LinkedIn, Google, and Amazon. It has also been asked twice in a Meta interview and also in Bloomberg and Microsoft. So, it is a popular question, and I would recommend you to practice it. Now, let's look into the problem statement. So, basically, guys, we are given an array of characters, and that array is called as letters. It is sorted into non-decreasing order and a character target. Now, there are at least two different characters in letters. Okay, so in this array, there are at least two different characters. It can have same character being repeated, but at least two different characters are there. We have to return the smallest character in letters that is lexicographically greater than target. If such a character does not exist, then return the first character in letters. So basically, by lexicographically, it means that any character, let's say in this example, the target is A. So we have to return any letter from this array which is closest to A and greater than A. Okay, and by lexicographically means that if we convert that into a number in ASCII code, or if we just look into that in the list of alphabets, that letter should come after A. Okay, and let's say in this example the letter says CFJ and the target is A, so a letter which is just greater than A. Okay, so the smallest letter which is just greater than A, and that answer is C, and C is the smallest character that is lexicographically greater than A in letters is C. Another example, you can see that the target is C here. Now obviously C is also present in this, but we need to return a letter that is greater than C, hence the answer is F. And in this last example, we can see that the target is Z, but there is no letter inside this array which is greater than Z. So what we do is we return the first letter of the array, and that is X. Okay. The constraints are that the letter's length, that is the length of the array, goes from 2 to 10 to the power 4. Letter I is a lowercase English letter, and it is sorted in a non-decreasing order, so ascending order. Letters contains at least two different characters, and target is also a lowercase English letter. Okay, so that is basically the problem statement. Now let's look into the ways to solve this problem. So the first way and the very easiest way is that we just traverse the array. So we just traverse the array, and we, as soon as we find out a letter, that means if a letter is greater than the target, we simply return it. Okay, in this situation what can happen is that because we know that the letters are already sorted in a ascending order, as soon as we get a letter that is greater than the target, we don't really have to go ahead and actually look into any further letters. We can just return that. Okay, so that is the first approach. Now if you want to implement this approach, let's write the code for that as well. So if I just copy paste the code here for you, this is how the code is gonna look like. Okay, so what we have is that we are just traversing the letters array for L in letters. If the order of L0, and by odd function we are actually converting this letter into a ASCII value. So if this is actually greater than the value of the target, then we just return that letter. If we don't get any condition being satisfied, we just return the first letter. Now if you run this code, guys, you can see that this gets accepted, and this will also get successfully submitted as well. Okay. However, guys, if you look into this solution, the time complexity of this solution is going to be order of n. And why? Because you can see that we are actually essentially traversing through the entire array to find out our target. And because this letters array is already sorted, we essentially don't have to do that to find out my letter. Okay. So let's look into the more optimized approach. Okay. In this approach, guys, what we are going to do is we are going to use the algorithm called as binary search. Okay. So it's very simple, guys. The first thing is we assign our lower and higher value. So let's say my lower value is 0 and my higher value is the length minus 1. Okay, the length of the letters array and then minus 1. Okay, what we are going to do is we are going to just create a while loop where we will say that the left pointer should be lower than the right pointer, or the lower pointer should be lower than the higher pointer. Then we will traverse our array and we are going to create it or find out my mid element, right? So mid element is simply you plus your lower and your higher element and you divide it by 2, right? So that is your classic binary search algorithm going on. Here we will just check if my target value is actually greater than my mid value or not, okay, or my m value. You can also make it like the letters m value. So let's say my target is greater than my mid value. It means that my target will lie in the right portion or in the higher portion, not in the lower portion. So in that situation, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna assign my left pointer, or I will just move my left pointer, so mid plus 1. If it's the else condition, that means my target lies in the lower half or in the left section, then I will move my right pointer or my high pointer. So the high pointer will become equals to mid minus 1. Okay. When this while loop will get completed, guys, we would have found out that my letter exists or not. Okay. However, we still have that condition that it is possible that my letter did not exist, right? So how do I find that? So if my letter did not exist, what would happen in that scenario? That my left this condition, right? This condition will always get satisfied because my target is always greater. That is why I could never found it, right? If my target was always greater than all the letters, I could never find it. So in the end, this condition will be satisfied almost every time, and you will check that if this L value or this left value is actually equals to the length of your array, it means you never found your letter and you will just return the first letter, right? So letters 0. But if this condition was not satisfied, it means that your left pointer or your low pointer actually have the target value. So you will return letters L. Okay. And by using the binary search algorithm, guys, your time complexity has now reduced from order of n to order of log n, which is quite a big improvement, guys, because we know that in case of binary search we do divide and conquer, and every time because we are dividing our array into a half, your time complexity will actually lead to log of n. Okay, and that is why this algorithm is much more efficient. Now if you want to see the code for it, let me paste that code as well and let's run this code. Okay, so there is a small indentation error. Let's fix that and let's run this code. You can see that it gets run for all the cases. If I just explain you the code again, it is exactly same as my pseudo algorithm. The first thing we did was we assigned the 0 to left and the length of the array to my right pointer. The while loop will run until left is less than equals to right. Then we will calculate our mid value, which is left plus right, and then these two slashes means that it's not a decimal value, it has to be an integer value. And if the mid value is less than or equals to the target, the left will move to mid plus 1, because it means that my target lies in the right portion. Otherwise the right will move to mid minus 1 because the target lies in the left portion. In the end, if the left has moved a lot and it means it is equaling the length of the letters. That means you never found your actual target, so we just return the first letter. Otherwise we will return the left pointer letter. Okay, let's submit this code. Let's see if this works for all the other solutions, and you can see that it does work. So for the time complexity, guys, I've already told you that the time complexity for this solution is going to be order of log n. And if you want to know about the space complexity, guys, then the space complexity in this particular solution is going to be order of 1, because we did not create any extra data structure. We only used the data structure that was already given to us. So there is no extra space used. Okay. So that was the video, guys. I hope you guys liked this video and I hope you learned something from it. If you did like this video, guys, then please do not forget to like this video and share this video with your friends. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, feedback for me, please do write down in the comment section below. I would be really happy to address them. And in the end, guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon for future notifications of more such programming and coding related videos. I'll see you guys in the next video, guys. Until then, take care and bye bye.